Hey everyone! 18 weeks has officially begun, and that means that I'm starting my 5th month of pregnancy. And if you go by my OB's dating, I am halfway done. She thinks I'll deliver 36, 37. So if that's the case, I'm halfway. We'll see. Time will tell. This past week, I don't know if I've had a great increase of hormones or what, but it's been a really hard week. I don't think that the very fact that this is a very busy time of month has made things any better. They probably made things worse, but my fatigue and nausea have been incredible. Monday night we had my husband's work party because I guess, if you've been following me, you know that he works at church, so December is very busy for them with all the productions and whatnot. So they have it really early. And it was a lovely time, but most of the time I am in bed by 8:30. We didn't even get home till 9:30, which really, in all respects, is not that late. But we then had one of those nights where you stay up and you're in bed chatting away, which you need for your marriage every once in a while. It's really nice. But boy, did I suffer for that. It didn't help that this month when I care for one of the children that come to my home, he's only here a couple days a week, so that's good. But this month, he's here for 10 and a half hours a day. That's a long day. So, of course, I had him the next day for 10 and a half hours. And of course, go figure, I wake up in the morning and I discover that Phoenix only has 3 diapers. And I'm like, how did that happen? I'm normally really, really good about staying on top of things like that. Yeah, so 3 diapers. So after his dad finally came and picked him up, I'm like, okay, here we go. Time to go to the grocery store. Time to get, to get some new diapers. And by that time, after that, it was 6:30 at night and eating. So I'm like, okay, let's just go get some fast food and then put the kids to bed. And within 45 minutes, I was in bed. And then the next day was another 10 and a half hour day with the other child. And then on Friday, I worked, the kids get picked up about 2:30. And then I went out and did the grocery shopping. So did that, and I was just so burnt out. I was just so tired, and I'm like, okay, I need to eat, and I want to have a nice sit-down, quiet dinner. So I took myself out to a restaurant. I bought a magazine, and it was lovely. I ate a normal-sized dinner. Haven't done that in ages, and I don't think I will again. And my husband told me, don't come home until the kids are in bed. So 7 o'clock is bedtime preparation, and they're normally in bed and asleep by 7:30. So when I got out of the restaurant, it was only 6:45. So I'm like, okay, well, I just went to the coffee shop and had a decaf and a little thing for dessert, not big. Wow, oh my word. You would have thought I ate a 5-course meal. I was so full and uncomfortable. I got home and I, put the stuff away and I just sat on the couch. And even though I was so tired, I just felt so sick that I couldn't even move. And then eventually I did, just to have heartburn. It's the first time I've had heartburn this pregnancy for the whole night. I kept waking up. I eventually got up and had some Tums. And it was awful. And then I woke up in the morning and I just was like, oh my goodness, I barely slept and I still felt really sick. I didn't have anything for breakfast. I think eventually I had an apple. Anyways, I had 2 days of that. And last night I ended up sleeping downstairs on the couch. Our couch reclines, and so if you prop up some pillows and stuff, it's not that bad. And I slept sitting upright because it just, laying down was just awful. So that did the trick. This morning I feel back to normal, still a little bit nauseous, but like I said, I think that the baby must be going through a growth spurt or there's some hormonal changes happening because I've been more tired and more nauseous this week, just all together. So that is that story of this week. I'm happy it's done with. This coming week is going to probably be the busiest week before the new year. We have tons of things with the kids, Zayden's schooling, and then a busy week with childcare. And then I also have my doctor's appointment. Haven't seen her for like 6 weeks. And I have my big ultrasound. Yay! So I'm really excited about that. So next time I talk to you, I should have some pictures to show you. Now, ultrasound, I am like so split emotionally with it because there's a part of me that's just like, I'm so excited to see this baby. I'm so excited to see it and compare it to my other 2 babies. And it's amazing to see that baby, and then you can put like a visual to what you feel inside. But I have had so much bad news with ultrasounds that I'm a bit nervous as well. With firstborn, the first 20-week ultrasound, it was fine. Later on, after I had a later ultrasound due to the blood pressure, that's when they noticed my secondary placenta that ended up being a big problem, and Zayden's dilated ureter, which ended up being a big concern. Then with Phoenix, on his normal 20-week ultrasound, that's when they discovered his kidneys and the problem. And I don't know if I shared before, can't remember the name of it, but it's a condition, and it was the worst my doctor had ever seen. She's seen one kidney be that bad, but not both. And what it is the kidneys are severely dilated, and they have mild, medium, and severe. And both of his were severe. 10 millimeters is considered that, and one of his was 14 and the other was 10. So after that, I end up getting, you have your ultrasound, and a couple hours later you get this call, and you just know they don't call unless there's a problem. And that is the worst experience to have, because then you call your doctor's office and you have to set up an appointment, and you don't know what it is, but you know something's wrong, and you have to wait for that appointment, and it's a nightmare. And then they tell you this news, and for his condition, they needed to get us set up with the Children's Hospital. And I had to get hooked up with all the specialists, the genetics team, the FDS team, which they ended up getting me in, oh my word, within a couple days. And at that time, they did this huge 19-minute ultrasound where they checked every nook and cranny of his body, his brain, his heart, everything in detail. I got some really cool 3D pictures from that, but it was awful. And they basically had told me at that point that the options ranged from him not even surviving inside to being born and needing kidney transplants. And they're like, the bad thing is you can live with 1 kidney, but you need 2. So he may even live internally and then die externally if both of his kidneys are that damaged, to needing transplants, to dialysis, to surgery, antibiotics, to being fine. So needless to say, that's really stressful. So this time I'm kind of like, what are they going to find? I pray nothing, but up to getting that news, you have this perfect, healthy little baby in you. And then I know firsthand that can all change with one phone call. So I'm going to ask the technicians to make sure that if there is a problem, just because of the history, to make sure they call my doctor's office right away, because I don't want to be waiting hours at home wondering. And then it would be really nice if they didn't find anything, just for them to tell me that everything looks good. So we'll see. I don't know what they'll do. Okay, so I don't think I've grown that much since last week. I had that growth, I guess it'd be 2 weeks ago now, but I don't think I've changed all that much since then. All right, there's the front view. I guess I do look a little bit more round, forward facing, but not a lot. So that is it for this week. One more thing that happened this week is we got the kids' picture, you see, taken with Santa Claus. So I will leave their Santa Claus picture at the end of this.